Welcome to my messy studio, everyone. My name is Mark, and I'm an artist and an art professor. And in this short lesson, I'm going to show you yet another sneaky trick for controlling values in your pen and ink drawings. Let's get started. Okay, back to the lesson. One of the difficulties of using pen and ink is controlling the values in your drawing, particularly where you want to get soft transitions. This is why many artists gravitate towards transparent ink that's lighter in value. But if you're using a darker ink, one sneaky trick is to dip your pen in water, which will temporarily allow you to create a lighter stroke. So you can dip your pen in water for a second or two, then give it a shake on a paper towel to get the excess water off. And then, instead of black, your pen will start putting down a light gray stroke. And then, if you want it to go back to black again, give it another shake on the paper towel, maybe dry off the feet a little bit, and it should come back to writing in black fairly quickly. But depending on the ink you're using, there's something else you can do to lighten the strokes. You can actually erase them. That's right, certain inks, while obviously not entirely erasable, will lighten significantly when you rub them with a kneaded eraser. This pen is filled with one of those inks, Noodler's Black. This ink, while waterproof and permanent, can be lightened significantly with an eraser. Let me put down a few lines to show you. Let's wait a few minutes for the ink to dry, otherwise I'm going to smudge the ink rather than erase it. Okay, a few minutes have passed, and now we can rub down the lines with a kneaded eraser. As you can see, some portion of the ink has been erased away, creating a lighter line. The effect is stronger on recently dried lines, but this will still work even if the ink has been dry for a few months. All of this is of course dependent on the paper, but to drive home the point, here is a value scale done with Noodler's Black, and as you can see, the effect is actually pretty strong. And by the way, I'm using a kneaded eraser, but you can use a hard eraser for this as well. It'll work equally well. This, of course, will not work with every ink, and I have yet to compile a list of inks that are partially erasable. But here are two other Noodler's inks that have the same property, though to a lesser extent. This is Noodler's Lexington Gray, and this is Noodler's Brown. The value of being able to lighten your lines probably doesn't need to be argued, but here are just two applications where it'll prove useful. In the case of a rendered form, like a sphere, it can be used to lighten transitions from light to dark, like so. And you could also use it in the shadows to create a stronger reflected light, soften coarse shadows, and perhaps even the edges of cast shadows, like this, creating a stronger three-dimensional effect. It could also be used to reinforce the sense of depth in a landscape by rubbing out areas in the background, like so. I hope you found this sneaky trick useful, and if you did, hit subscribe and peruse my catalog of other sneaky pen tricks, drawing instruction, and art material reviews. Thanks for watching, and see you back in my messy studio very soon. Bye bye.